And I would like to again invite all these candidates to settle down. Their families will be safe, and whatever comes out of the election should be respected by everybody. There is a notion in Uganda, and this notion is not new, of people sometimes declaring themselves as winners of an election. It has happened before. An election is held, the votes are counted in broad daylight. The winner is supposed to be declared by the Electoral Commission. And all of us, including the security forces, will be waiting for the word of the Electoral Commission. It is the only body that is empowered by law, by constitution and the law, to arbitrate over the election, conduct the election, and finally declare who the winning candidate or the losing candidate will be at all levels. And all candidates must accept the decision of the people as communicated by the Electoral Commission. And as I said, whoever does not accept the outcome, the only channel available is the courts of law. Not going in a certain place and then you gather people and you say, I have declared myself the president of Uganda. You cannot. That is illegal, it's unconstitutional, and the security forces certainly cannot allow a state of anarchy where people just declare themselves winners. So I would like to, right from the beginning, really advise those who have these plans not to repeat them because they do not work. The winner of the election will be declared by the Electoral Commission, and the public should also ignore such characters who just declare themselves against the will of the people. So my appeal is that let us stay calm. Ugandans will pronounce themselves, and as the IGP has mentioned, the security sector, all the security organs of the state are ready and very ready to make sure that the rights of all Ugandans in this campaign period and during and after the election are secured. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much, my colleague. Let me remove this mask so that you may hear me more loudly. My colleague, the Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs, the Inspector General of Police, Commissioner General of Prisons, Deputy Inspector General of Police, Deputy Commander, Land Forces, and other officers here present. After the remarks, welcome remarks by the Inspector General of Police, and those wonderful remarks by my colleague, my duty now is really to summarize for us all what the situation is and what is in place for all of us. But before I do so, the situation we are in, speaking last, I am reminded of a situation that happened in one of the electoral areas in 1996. At that time, there were about 11 candidates vying for one to represent that area. At that time, so there was a challenge, who would speak first and who would speak last. So they drew lots. Now, 1, 2, up to number 10. So the candidate spoke 1, 2. Now when it came to the candidate number 10, I want to paraphrase what he said. He said, all the good remarks those who before me spoke have said are also mine. But the bad ones are there. So in the same vein, I would like to associate myself with the remarks of the Inspector General of Police and my colleague, the Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs. As I do so, I want first of all, as I say, to welcome all of us to the year 2021. But as we enter this year, I want us to remember two important things. One, we enter 2021 still under the COVID-19 pandemic. Whereas the prospects for a vaccine are now very promising, we still do not have a vaccine here. It is not yet available. Neither do we have a dedicated medicine for treating coronavirus. Under these circumstances, therefore, our protection and survival depends on one, some level of protection by way of wearing masks, by way of regularly washing our hands. January this year, that is next Thursday. Now, in the course of campaigns for these elections, quite a number of candidates, especially presidential candidates, and some of their agents have made comments and have acted in a manner that is tantamount to threatening peace and good order. These utterances and actions consequently have caused concern and to some extent worry to a number of citizens. Citizens now fear that come January 14th and or immediately after, their lives and property might be threatened. Having listened to my colleague, the Minister of Defense, and having listened to the Inspector General of Police, I would like to take this opportunity to assure all Ugandans that your lives and property will be safe. It is the constitutional duty of government to ensure that your lives and property are protected. I want us to remember that the elections have not come upon us just like that. Indeed, as the Inspector General of Police did point out, we knew all along that we would have these elections this time. It's like when you're having Christmas, you know at the end of the year there will be another Christmas. Similarly, we have been aware that we are going to have these elections this time. Therefore, police and all other security agencies have been preparing and building capacity to ensure that we shall have peaceful elections and peace after elections. Let me take this opportunity once again to encourage all Ugandans to desist from any form of violence. I can assure you, you who think in that direction of causing violence, that you do not have enough means to cause violence. And it might be extremely detrimental for you to attempt to do so. So it is only good manners not to try to do what you know you cannot accomplish. Don't even attempt. In conclusion, I want to take this opportunity to wish Ugandans and all of us peaceful elections and a secure environment thereafter. Because as I have pointed out, we are prepared, it is our duty, and we will take all the trouble to ensure that Ugandans will vote in a peaceful environment, and they will remain thereafter in peace and harmony and in a lawful environment. I thank you, colleagues. I thank you, countrymen, for listening to us. As the protocol did indicate, I think we can invite a few questions, and through those questions, my colleagues will be able to explain further some of the points that we may not have adequately covered. Thank you very much. Inspector General of Police.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Perhaps before you invite the questions, I would request perhaps the Commissioner
sorry, my omission.
to tell the country the space he has. Because we are going people. The space he has.
Sorry for my omission.
Probably DIG might say.
Sorry for your omission. Sorry for my omission. Let me take this opportunity to invite police to tell us how prepared he is in case we misbehave.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. And Minister of Defense, functionaries, ladies and gentlemen. At the end of as of December 31st, 2020, I had 60,000 prisoners in custody. Coming from 66,000 about this. But the judiciary has been working tooth and nail to make sure that these numbers get reduced, which we are, as an institution, we are very grateful about.
But you need more.
Honorable Minister, we cannot be fools. We have space. I would say of about 30,000. In other words, we are going 200%. But this is a prison. And we have what we call congestion management measures. It makes the stay in congested facilities, but still retain your health and vigor. Honorable Minister, we are using such an environment whereby you find there is an upside of prisoners' population, especially after the election. But I want to assure everybody that we shall accommodate however many people are thrown at us. You will recall that after the riots in Kampala, several arrests were made, and I ended up with a total of 578 in the soup. You know, that was quite challenging. But we managed it. We managed to do that. And I want to say the cooperation we have with the police and the military come to our rescue sometimes when we be challenging circumstances. That's why I'm not making a lot of noise. And there are not very many people having a problem with the Uganda Prison Service. Honorable Minister, on Monday this week, we received some suspects in Masaka. And as per our handling of new entrants, because we don't want them to mix with the old one, we corrupt Masaka Southern prison, and that's where we got this suspect. We got them on Monday. On Tuesday, we got a production warrant. We had not yet even admitted them in our prison books. But we negotiated, and first of all, admit them. Admission is a wrong process. We measure your weight, we measure your height, we record whether there is any injury on you. And 99 at a go was quite enough. But eventually, when the production warrant yesterday, it was served to us, and I think half of them were released. I had taken Masaka 2 buses to fill the prisoners' point. If you recall, when they came in, they traveled by road, and it was quite a hurrah on the triple meeting. But I think only 50 got bail. The other 50 were, we got another production warrant for these people in the general court martial. And so, about 50 of them were brought this way to attend that type of court. For your interest, I have only 2 NUP suspects. And these ones are still with us because they have not fulfilled the conditions of bail that were in Masaka. A lot of people have been saying that we have in custody people unlawfully. That one cannot happen in the Uganda Prison Service. We have documents, we did our work and executed it professionally. I want also to wish people a peaceful election. Honorable Minister, as you are aware, we are part and parcel of this most important activity. It is my staff who are dispatching election materials to the various districts. Actually, they are almost internally, there are over 100 staff in prison service. And we shall continue for them. So, Honorable Inspector General of Police, you don't get worried about space. If the worst comes to the worst, the law empowers the Minister of Internal Affairs to create a temporary prison so that the numbers are accommodated. We shall go to any length to make sure that we meet our obligation. Thank you, Honorable Minister.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, Press, for listening.
Thank you, CGP. Members of the press, I know you may be very anxious to request for further clarification. But I wanted to take this opportunity to ask the Deputy Inspector General of Police, who actually oversees operations, to just say one or two things which may preempt some of the questions you may wish to ask. So at this juncture, let me ask the Deputy Inspector General of Police just to make a few remarks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Minister of Affairs, Minister of Defense, of course the IGP, Commissioner General of Police, Commander Land Forces, officers present. Sir, we have been working around the clock to ensure that we prepare, to ensure that we deliver a very peaceful election. And that has been our task the last few months and days. We are on the ground. All preparations have been made. And we expect to give in our best. We expect also the population to cooperate with us as we shall deliver our duties. We are cooperating with all the sister security agencies within the country to ensure that we have a very peaceful election. You also know, sir, that there has only been threats, which is uncalled for. When leaders are at their best, leaders inspire many and they mentor many. But when they are at their worst, they incite violence. So this is uncalled for, and we don't really expect it to happen. However, I would like to echo what my bosses have said. Sir, we shall not accept any disorder and chaos in the country. Nobody will shake our resolve, and you know we are a very resilient force. We have a very agile team that can adjust and adapt any threats. We also know that no country in the world is immune to some of these challenges. Even the most democratic countries in the world are not immune to riots and lawlessness. It is therefore the task of the security forces to ensure that we will secure the state, and that is going to be our responsibility. We only appeal to the population to cooperate with us during this election period and also after the elections. The Electoral Commission has given us guidelines that we should not accept mass assemblies around the polling centers. And this we want to put it very, very clear to everybody. You need to vote and go home. Of course, they have guidelines about the agents, the few agents which are supposed to be there to represent their parties. But any act of hooliganism within the polling stations will always not be acceptable. So, Honorable Minister, we are prepared and coordinated, and we expect to deliver a peaceful election. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. I don't know whether my brother or whom I want to make a few remarks. before we invite the press.
Well, thank you very much, Honorable Minister of Internal Affairs, Honorable Minister of Defense, Inspector General of Police, Commissioner General of Prisons, the Deputy Inspector General of Police, and other colleagues and you, the press. I don't have much here to say. My speakers have said it all. And our statement is one and the same, and that is to give the people of Uganda hope and to assure them election. Maybe what I can add for purposes of emphasis is that we've been receiving information and intelligence that our people, some of our people are scared because of the narratives that have been put into the minds of Ugandans, like the Inspector General of Police did say, even before voting, some people are declaring themselves as the winners. And therefore that means the announcement that is contrary to what they have already put out would mean cheating, and that causes a lot of problems. So, because of those, therefore, we get information that some of our people are scared, and some have actually started leaving the places where they are supposed to vote from.